Welcome to my channel. I'm Megan. Today I'm going to show you how to make this pumpkin holder slash plant hanger. It takes a lot of cord, so here is a list of all of the cord links that you're going to need, and you will also the dowel that you will need, and of course a pumpkin. I did design the pumpkin decal myself, so if you guys are interested in that Home Sweet Haunted Home decal, it is available in my Etsy store for the SVG file and the decal. I also used my Macrame A to Z series with the letters. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to have you guys refer to those for the letters themselves. The joy of this project is you can make this your own. You could do different words. You could use it for different seasons. I'm really excited about this design. I feel super proud of how pretty it turned out. It made me feel happy whenever I got it finished. So I hope you guys like it and it inspires you to do something. Also, the Macrame A to Z series link is in the description box below. So check that out and you will have all the letters from A to Z. Something to keep in mind with these letters and with this technique, the type of rope that you use really affects the length. I've had a lot of people say either it's too short or it's not enough, the lengths that I've given. And if you notice in this video versus my Macrame A to Z series where I gave the lengths needed, they are different because I use different cords. So that being said, if you're using a cord that is bigger or maybe more firm, then you're going to need more. But the joy of these letters is that you can always add on. So when I'm doing a project like this, I definitely do each letter separately as far as the cord lengths go. So each letter has a 150-inch piece of cord for the black and has a 160-inch cord for the natural color. So we're just going to get these letters done. And again, guys, check out the rest of my letters. And I would love to see if you come up with any other designs for this. Share on my Instagram. I love to see pictures. So we're going to get this done and then we'll move on. And now we're going to move on to the spirals that are on each side. You're going to tie on a 70-inch piece of cord on each side. This is a non-working cord. And then you will need to grab a 180-inch piece of cord, and we're going to tie this on using a spiral knot. So we've gotten to the bottom of this one, and I'm just trying to get it lined up to where the bottom of the letters end, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Once you've finished with your spirals on each side, this will be the time where we would need to hide our ends. I overshot the length of the cords just a little bit, but honestly, I have people tell me a lot of times that the lengths are too short, so I do overshoot it just a bit, and I hope that that kind of prevents people from having any issues, especially with the spirals, because you do not want to run out of cord. That's just the tricky thing about macrame, is that depending on, you know, the size and the texture of the cord, it can definitely vary in the length that you need. But I just have this yarn needle. You need one that's big enough to fit. This is the 3mm cord. What you're going to do now, when you're hiding the ends, you want to make sure that you skip the first loop and go into the second. And we're just going to push this into the design and pull it through, and that's all you have to do, and just clip off the excess and you're good to go. You could trim it and put a little hot glue, which I've done in some of my designs before. So if you do that, you can just trim it and you put like a little tiny dot of hot glue on the end, and that will also hold it in place where it won't come apart. But we're going to hide the ends on each side of this, and then I will also show you how to hide the ends on the letters. Now, hiding the ends for the letters is pretty much the same thing, but just keep in mind, every time you're sewing in these ends, always skip that first loop and go into the second loop. I do have a little pair of pliers that came with the jewelry making kit that I use to pull through on the letters, because it is a little tough. The knots are tighter, so maybe grab a pair of pliers to just pull it all the way through. And with my letters, the design, as you can see, the back of it is messy. I do also have a video where I show if you want the backs to be clean. For me, this is going to be something that's going to be against the wall, so I don't see any point in going the extra mile to make the back nice and neat. But if you want to do that, I have a tips and tricks video I will also share in the description box. So you guys, if you want to sell items and things like that, you'll have a nice clean product. Now we just need to make a spot for our pumpkin or plant to sit in. With this design, because of the way that the letters have all the rope so close together, I do a very simple technique to where the pumpkin would sit in, and I also wanted my decal that I put on the pumpkin to show. So this is extremely simple but also effective for, you know, being able to put the pumpkin in if you want to be able to have it show words and things like that. What we're going to do is we're going to take the spirals, let's start on this side. We're going to start on the right side, and we're going to take the left piece of cord and we're going to connect it to the farthest right piece of cord on the letter piece. And we're going to connect them using an alternate half hitch knot. So simple. And this is easily adjusted, because depending on your pumpkin or plant, you might have to adjust the height of where you place these. These two knots, once I'm finished, are 4 inches from the top of the work. So I do adjust it some. I think I'd lower it a little bit. Alternating half hitch knots, super simple. And then we're going to take both the right and the left farthest piece of cord, and we're going to do one more alternate half hitch knot. And I do this one 8 inches from the top of 8 inches from the bottom of the work. So it's a little bit lower. That's so we could see the writing on the pumpkin. So do this, and then you can kind of put your pumpkin or your plant, whatever you're going to put into it, and kind of get an idea of if your knots are in a good position and placement. I do adjust mine a little bit, but in the end, it's the two side ones are 4 inches, the other one is 8, and I feel like it sits perfectly where we can see the writing. I love it whenever something looks complicated, and it's super easy, and I think it's easy and effective. So now that my placement is where I want it, we're going to need to do a gathering knot. This is where the 20-inch piece of cord is going to come into play. Getting all the cords in place, and then this can also be adjusted. So once you do this, if you don't like it, you can kind of slide it up and down. But to do a gathering knot, you're going to make a loop. And then you're going to put the loop facing down, and you need a little bit of cord sticking out above, just like this. And then take your cord and start wrapping it around this piece right here. Now I did mine, I think 5 times, and just pull it as tight as you can. And now once we have it wrapped around, you're going to take the end and we're going to put it through this loop right here, holding everything nice and snug. And once you put that through the loop, you're going to take this top piece that's sticking out and you're going to pull up until you have hidden the excess part of the loop. And then just try out your plant or your pumpkin and make sure that it's in a good position before you cut anything off here.